fishing for perch today. I'm going to go with some longer pauses. Perch can be a little bit timid and they'll wait for your bait to be stationary for a bit. They'll kind of look at it and then just have one of those classic pecks at it. I say pecks, I mean with their big bucket mouths, they tend to suck bait in. It's not very deep here. I thought it was much deeper, right in the margins here. 3 feet, 4 feet maybe. Bait I'm using at the minute is one of my favorites for fishing generally. Huge number of zander caught on it, but pike are also one that swing out if I go with a straight retrieve. They seem to love this bait as well. The downside at the minute is I'm not really aiming for pike. They are probably very close to starting spawning if they haven't done already. I haven't been fishing for a few weeks, so I'm actually not too sure kind of what the state of them is. Let's try and fish the middle for a couple, nice and slow. Feeling a lot shallower than I remember it here, but it may be that it's much deeper out in the middle. This canal is ridiculously deep for a canal. It's for big ships, so it gets down to about 15-20 feet in some places. Again, lots of this Canadian pondweed hanging around, very stringy stuff, tangles up in things easily. It is hard to run through it even with weedless configurations and not snag up into it. Finding the fish is absolutely the biggest part of it, and it's where watercraft really comes in kind of handy. It's the thing that will get you fish more than kind of your abilities to fish. It tends to be the knowledge of the water, where the fish like to hang out, and even specifically on the venues where fish like to hang out. We've got some good cover in the other direction, so we may end up walking down in the other direction a bit more. My only concern with going the other direction is it comes into what I prefer for pike fishing. Nice clarity for the canal. I can see down about 2 or 3 feet, which is a rarity for this section. Certain parts of it are super clear, but this section is not one I associate with dropping clear. So we may want to drop out to a more natural patterned bait, maybe go for something with a bit of contrast, some vertical stripes. Look for any signs of fish movement, fry or just generally small silver fish. Any of that gives us an indication of where there's food and where things like perch might be feeding. Those are the first things I'm looking out for. I'm not the best at perch fishing. My perch, I tend to focus on bigger perch, and they come across fairly infrequently for me. I've had some nice ones, but I would like to really kind of gear in and be able to catch the bigger fish when I want to. You know, fancy a spot of perch fishing, I want to be able to pop out for an hour, get 4 or 5, you know, not massive perch, but reasonable perch, and call it a day sometimes. But I'm just not there with perch. I think I could go out for an hour and catch a couple of zander pretty easily now. Not super fussed about catching a lot. I wouldn't mind catching 1 or 2 decent perch. A pike, if they're not spawning, wouldn't be unwelcome. Zander would be pretty good down this end. It's not really where people come to zander fish down here, but that doesn't mean that they aren't here. There's like 16 miles of completely unlocked open water that I can fish, so you do find zander all along. And in fact, the biggest pictures I've seen that people have caught are not from the popular spots, but we could finesse a little bit more. I think I might actually drop down to a 2-gram jig head, stick with this bait perhaps. Oh, it is definitely, if the pike are feeding, it's definitely pike weather. Oh, we're in. Don't know what it is. I bet it's a flipping pike. There's a bloody pike. Beautiful pike, but and in. Oh, Joe, I need to be super careful, but this pike's got a lot of energy, so I'm just going to get him straight back. Let that just show you that even when you are set up for perch, zander fishing on really light stuff, really small baits, pike will still hit it. And it's exactly why I usually swear by using wire, even when I'm perch fishing, because the pike are just around. But yeah, this is 100% the reason I don't really use fluorocarbon when there's pike around. Even if I am proper geared up to trying to catch perch and zander, I still come across pike almost as often as I do those other fish, and maybe that's my experience level, but I'd say I'm on a reasonably small lure now, about 5 centimeter little ribbed shad, very similar to say the Swing Impact from Keitech or Kitech. It's exactly the kind of lure I like to use for zander and perch. The question is, do we want to switch up to a bigger bait, a different coloured bait, a shinier bait, maybe something more natural? I do have some smaller little shads on me as well,